This is what you get when you don't join my lobby chat. You get just me rambling on. That's right, me rambling on. Link's out there. You join in. Because there are actually people watching, amazingly enough. Big news of the day here in Green Bay was summer school was locked down at East Green Bay. The way they made it sound in the news, like there were a bunch of armed gunmen invading the school. What it was the police going around the building that they were describing. And I guess they arrested 2 individuals because one of them had a pellet gun.
Oh, I'm sorry, is this a solo lobby tonight?
Yep.
Would you say you wanted to ban pellet guns now?
No, there was a big thing in Green Bay today. At basically high school, East Green Bay High School. The whole school was locked down because there was a report of somebody with a gun. Police came in, and the way the news made it sound like there was, a bunch of armed people at the school. It's the way the news was making it sound locally on one of the channels. Armed gunmen were peeking in the windows, and what it was the police were peeking in the classroom windows. And what ended up being was a couple of people were arrested, one because one of them had a pellet gun. Nobody was hurt.
Doesn't even sound like a real event. Not newsworthy, at least.
Definitely not newsworthy, but they covered the first 15 minutes of the local news, and well, I should say 15 minutes because they went into weather after after the commercial, but
I hate pellet guns.
Where's that rock you're standing on there? Is that Utah?
That's in Prescott.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, they got some rocks like that, I guess.
Got a bunch of granite all around us.
That looks like a nose.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. You can see like a face on the right.
Yeah, looks like a face.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Sphinx with 2 flying saucers in front of it.
That's right.
Why aren't you down there picking its nose?
All right, I need some help. What do you guys think for the back of the cards? Any preferences?
Let's see. Where is it multiple choice or what?
I don't know. I made up some samples or whatever because people were complaining that it looked like shit, and it kind of did. So I played around and we got it on the line somewhere.
I like the first one here.
Yeah.
I like the first one.
The one on the left, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I like the
Pretty
little
much that's been the overwhelming response.
Yeah,
that's because that's one that everybody sees first. They always go left to right.
And then
I do the exact opposite. When somebody gives me a choice, I go right to left.
I like that one. I do like the one in the middle, kind of.
I like the number 3. I think that's the best one.
Yeah, I like number 3 too. But is that the Ishmash logo, the little triangle with the arrow?
In the middle one?
Yeah.
You had to put something to counterbalance the gun website.
Yeah,
so
cool. But I do like the little background you have on the first and last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like
that's why I like the last one, is that the top one isn't covered by the silhouette, and that is the semicircle with the AKs going around. Kind of reminds me of that Da Vinci drawing.
Yeah, exactly.
The motion, yeah, that's awesome. I like the border. I like the border, man. That's cool. And 2 barrels.
Well, I wanted to keep it AK themed, and I looked at a bunch of different card backs, and I got the impression that people that collect cards only pay attention to what they look like. They're doing it for the artistic value or whatever. So I was looking at the back of a bunch of cards, and it seemed like the only thing they all had in common was intricate patterns of design. And I got a lot of feedback that the card back should look like you know, there was no point in making the back of the card useful, that it should just be some sort of a design so that when they're laid down for whatever reason, they all blend together or something. So anyway, those are the only elements I had to work from. But,
I like that. Is there a so you know how on the first one there's a hard border on the outline, so it kind of meshes the colors together.
okay.
And on the third and the second one, it's just kind of white. If that's actually printed, is there just going to be like a difference between the actual color of the card and the printed stuff, or?
I was going to do black and white just because I have enough shit on my plate to deal with and to deal with all the different 4-color printing stuff on the back. But I don't know. It literally was just like, you know, I have to come up with something. I didn't want to just do one and be like, here, fuck you, this is what the back looks like. I figured I'd, you know, get some feedback from it, so I just did 3 different things. But nothing set anywhere. I can do anything to any of them, honestly. But right now, that's just an extra border, honestly, just because of the way I was centering it on that. It's like a picture of a playing card. It's not showing up good in this, but, you know, those are pictures of playing cards with shadows behind them, and then I just faked the artwork on top of it, so that just happened to be how I was cueing myself to where the edge of the card was or whatever.
Got it.
And I just didn't delete it when I did the final one. But it just makes it a difference too. Some of them do have hard borders, and some of them kind of blend out.
Right.
Did you see the?
I kind of like the idea of doing like a massive puzzle. Like, let's say, like, you know, like a puzzle of just like if somebody took a really nice picture of an ammo box with loose ammo in it, you know, so it's just a big scramble of loose ammo. I think it'd be neat to do a deck of cards where the backs are actually a puzzle, so that you have something else to do with the cards too. But people give me shit for trying to put too much shit like that into them.
Yeah, the problem with doing that too, I mean, this is why playing cards don't have them, because then
Yeah,
person
you'd be able to cheat.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so
Now I would say that's fine for the front of the cards. If each front of the card was different, I get like the A symbol and that overlaid the top of them.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat to make it on the face, but then it would kill the other shit I'm trying to do, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying for a playing card, not as a...
An ID card, yeah.
Remember when I was wondering what RWC was going to do, like with their AK contract? I guess this news came out.
RWC?
It's like Russian weapons company. They got the exclusive deal with the new Kalashnikov factory or whatever to be the exclusive importer, the Segas.
So you're saying they're not on the water. There's no AKs on the water.
These are on the water, dude. And I found a place. I'm completely broke and don't need one, but they're $8.99. So they're basically, I don't know. They're doing the conversions here, but for the money, it's basically a converted Sega. So $8.99 is not so bad. But check that out. It's like I saw a video today of Tactical Life put a video up on YouTube of them shooting it a little bit, and for it's a couple $100 more than that Century.
You mean Tac Daddy?
Nah, Tactical Life. I don't know. I watch Tac Daddy's videos too, but no, tacticallife.com.
I got you. No, I mean Tactical's his Monday thing. Tactical Life.
No, yeah. It was just interesting because I figured this would be a good bet for them, and if they can keep it around $800 to $900, damn, I mean, it's pretty awesome. Adjustable stock and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be really cool. Built on the Segas.
Yeah, you think they know what they're doing. Because, now, like, Kavar can't, Arsenal, no one can do that stuff. I guess they're
doing it all with Bulgarians now.
If you do buy a Sega and you can convert it yourself, or you could send it to, like, someone like Rifle Dynamics or something, or buy this, I guess.
Hey, so what's mag wobble indicative of? Like how much is normal mag wobble?
Well, typically a 9mm because of the tiny little puny ammo in there. The magazines will wobble, but also they'll wobble in fear sometimes. And because the shooters are incompetent, they'll sometimes shake, and that'll cause mag wobble.
I just got my AK mags I ordered from SG Ammo. and they work good and they're in good condition. Except I got quite a bit of more wobble than I have in my other mags from them. I've only used U.S. Palm in my current AK though. So
what is your AK? Just curious.
it's an Arsenal SLR 107.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's not terrible by any means, but I was just wondering.
That's probably normal. I know my metal mags, they all wobble in my arsenal, and just a tiny, a tiny bit. But I've seen like some of them where you can move it almost like a quarter of an inch, dude. Like that's too much.
Not that bad.
It's like,
No, it's not that bad. But...
yeah, I don't know if it was a quarter of an inch or like it was bad, like super bad.
Well, the mags are pretty much all the same size, so it's usually just if they're imported as narrow and then opened, that was a job that was done to bigger than spec. Or if it was going to be used here in the U.S., they might have done it to Tapco specs because Tapcos are sometimes a little bit bigger. I shouldn't say Tapco, but U.S. polymer mags can all be a little bit bigger sometimes. But that's because they expected you to shape them down a lot of times. So that, and then really it's just a factor that the mag is held in place by the back and it hinges on the front, and they didn't pay a lot of attention to the sides because it was never an issue when they were really making them. They all made the same mag well all the time.
Okay.
But the guns should be made to that standard mag well, or that standard magazine dimension, because the magazines are all made to the same dimension.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I was thinking it had to be an issue when they were converting it, like you said, opening up that mag well.
Like even if you had a huge problem, like you said, you were what you had U.S. Palm or something.
Yeah, my U.S. Palms fit in there tight.
Yeah, exactly.
That
I was
would
gonna
make
say.
sense.
Yeah, my polymer mags fit real tight.
Thing is, even when an AK has mag wobble, again, it's going to rattle from left to right, not forward to back, which would make a problem. But it's going to wobble left to right, and you can wobble a AK mag left to right quite a bit before it actually matters, because all it has to do is strip the round up, especially on a 30 caliber. All it's got to do is strip the round up in the general vicinity of forward. So if it's doing that at this angle or that angle, the AK don't care. And that's another reason the AK is kick-ass, because you could have a perfectly tight, perfect AK that everything works great on, and then somebody uses it as a way to lift themselves up off the ground or something, or somehow steps on it. It's funny, so that your mag gets bent in there, and it's just going to continue to keep going. It's just now got a big mag wobble, but it'll, you can tweak them and they're still going to work because they don't really care. They're not persnickety about how aligned the round is before it actually gets fed.
Yeehaw, buddy. It's unacceptable, dude. That's my point.
Somebody has to go up from persnickety now.
Persnickety?
Yeah, you have to take it to the next level.
Or pithy, I don't know.
Oh, well, it sounds like Quark is able to send some paychecks out because he's getting paid.
Finally, dude. I feel like I've participated enough.
Are you talking about the gun website shelter? Or
no, animal shelter.
For hungry clocks? For hungry clocks?
Yes, I'm going to say this. Yankee is a bad influence.
That's funny. Yeah, he's a bad influence. He makes me want to buy like horrible Hawaiian shirts.
That's Bob.
But yeah, today he had like a Tasmanian devil horrible Hawaiian shirt on.
Have you seen Bob's shirts?
Oh no, dude. So all I see is that photo of him looking like the goddamn hitchhiker from hell, the hitcher.
Well, just give me a second. I'll find one of his really bad shirts.
It's good for concealment, if you're going to carry or whatever. I don't carry. I don't own any firearms, unfortunately.
You don't feel you have enough training to carry?
Well, yeah. I feel like once I take 1,000 classes from everybody, there's 10 classes from each instructor. That's famous. Next is Rob Pincus. He's doing his class. I think he's coming to town.
Yeah. By the way, that's one of Bob's. It's not his most dreadful one either. I don't have his most dreadful one.
Wow, that is bad, yeah.
Hey, I got a question for y'all regarding carry. If you Like, what's one way you changed how you dressed after you started carrying? If you did change how you dressed, that really helps for you.
I have one.
I started wearing my belt tighter.
Right off the top. I used to wear I still do. My favorite shirt is like a 2-button polo shirt, like the t-shirts with the collar. And if you're wearing a solid color one of those, it's impossible, dude, like, to me. So I just started wearing, in the summertime, instead of that, like a short sleeve button-down shirt, a little bit looser, is so much better than those 2-button polos.
Okay.
What else? I bought a good belt.
Look like a nerd as much.
Yeah, like collar up, like alpha, beta, lambda, beta, or whatever. But no,
I'm sure that before you were only wearing the official Glock authorized dealer shirts or collar shirts.
Yeah, it's lambda, and Omega Mu.
Yeah, a lambda polo. That would be hot. I was gonna say though, best thing that I ever did was buy a good belt. At first, I bought a 511 trainer or whatever the hell that belt was, complete fucking copy of a Wilderness Tactical.
Oh yeah, I got the Wilderness one. Yeah.
Oh, you're awesome because, dude, I'm not going to say anything bad about the 511 except it's a complete copy and a ripoff. Because my belt is 7 years old and I could still wear the 511. But I bought the Wilderness like last year, thanks to G-Web's advice, of course. And dude, the fucking belt is incredibly awesome, man. This is so awesome.
I've got a 511, and I'm not, no complaints about it. I mean, it's held up my pants, and I carry a lot of stuff in my pants.
Oh, it's still stiff. I mean, it did get kind of like 7 years. It was like really 6 years, but it started getting a little bit wobbly. So it was time to replace it. But dude, I mean, in a pinch, I'd wear it, and it wouldn't be a problem. So the belt is important, and I used to always wear like a leather belt, the cheap leather belt.
Yeah, some people say that you're gonna have to buy new pants and go up the pant side if you're inside the waistband. So, it depends on how your pants fit. Mine, I could actually use an in-between size, so I always went up one size larger than I normally had.
Right. Yeah, I'm in between sizes too, so I'm pretty set on that. And I'm looking at carrying a single stack, so.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. That if you're wearing normally tight pants to begin with, forget about carrying with a firearm in there. Unless you want to be really uncomfortable.
Why don't we ever talk about how to carry appendix with skinny jeans?
There's some good videos out there.
You're asking for trouble.
Definitely some good videos about that. Yeah, and I've only carried inside the waistband, and I never really had to go up a certain size because I wasn't wearing tight clothes to begin with, but it just seems like it was fine. If I wear 38 jean or size 40 jeans or whatever, it would just be the same, Yeah,
well, I fall in that you're probably, would normally wear like a 39 if you, are buying the 40s.
Yeah.
30 is just a little too tight, and the 40s are just a little too loose, but you can fix that by using a belt,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's awesome about those other belts, too. So you can lose a few pounds or gain a few pounds, and still the belt is good to go. But that's about it, dude. I don't know. I think like they say, solid colors print more than like stripes or like bad Hawaiian shirts.
Really? Okay, but solid colors are better than light colors, right? I mean, like dark solid colors are better than light colors, right?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I've never really thought
I don't know. I tend
solid is the worst. I know that.
I understand that you think about it a lot when you have not carried, but I can't remember how fast. It didn't seem like it took that long to not give a shit anymore. Like
it was after my
very long before you don't care if you print.
Yeah, that first day I did the did the Walmart walk. I was a little self-conscious about it, but after that I'm like, what's the big deal? Nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah, the printing.
It's completely legal anyway.
Maybe if you pay attention to how many other people are printing with whatever weird stuff they're carrying, because people carry all kinds of weird stuff. Then you'll figure out. Figure out that you just never were bothered to be aware of all the stuff people carry.
Right,
and we're all that way.
Yeah, like the woman that tried to rob a Walmart by putting a 42-inch television underneath her skirt.
What?
Yeah. It was a big woman. Big black woman.
I once stole a Voltron out of a Kmart. I just walked out. Just walked out.
Under your skirt?
Just walked out. Just walked out of it. Like, I think I was like 9 years old. And so I just picked it up and walked out. And then my mom was like, you need to go back. And I was like, hell no. I'm not going back.
Because you got the wrong one. She wanted you to get the
Yeah, but I don't know how somebody can actually.
You were
put, like,
supposed to get the more
40
expensive deluxe set.
I got the
How
big
can
one.
anybody put a 42-inch television between their fucking legs and manage to waddle out of a Walmart?
Believe me, they were. See, when you do stuff that's that obvious, people just assume that it's on the up and up. You know, like I'm sure someone looked at that and was like, "What is she doing? Oh, she must have paid for that." And she.
Why she got it under her skirt?
Like, I don't know.
Like
There's
if
no way
walking
that was.
out, that must be another thing. But
There's no way that was concealed. Unless she was like 8 feet tall, maybe 10. You know, I don't know.
Well, I don't get how it was done either, but
do y'all think it's easier to conceal carry if you're a skinny dude, or if you're like got a little bit more weight to you?
easier with a little bit more. The gun just pushes right into that fat and kind of molds right to you.
Yeah, either way. Because when you're skinny, it doesn't jab into you so much.
But I think if you're skinny, you get away with you could get away with that appendix carry, and I think that way it's almost impossible to like see. Like I've seen these skinny dudes like with their appendix carry, and I can't fucking tell they got a gun, and they're wearing tight ass fucking clothes, dude.
You think I've never even considered appendix, but
if I was really thin, I would do it.
You're like, I've been staring at that guy's groin for a while now, and I just noticed he's wearing appendix.
I wasn't going to go there.
Those are some tight pants. Oh, wait a minute, he's got a gun on.
I took a class, and there was like maybe 3 people out of like 40 or 30 or whatever that were doing it, and they were all thin, and you just didn't see it, like when they were wearing their tight shirts. You know, it's like weird.
That's so weird. I would have imagined that appendix would have been like not that great, but okay, I'll definitely take a look at that then.
I just gotta say, I like it too much to want to put it at risk, so no way am I gonna appendix carry.
I know it's borderline gay or whatever, but there's a couple of channels on Instagram that I like where it'll be chicks that wear like a gun, and then they'll wear or they'll take pictures, like, you know, chicks take pictures of their clothes or whatever, but they'll like make a point of showing the part where they're carrying and like the lack of printing, and it's not like a specific holster or anything that's, you know, the impetus of that. They're just doing it, I think, to show other girls that, you know, they can wear normal clothes and look like a girl or whatever and not have to worry about printing. But like I say, I don't know how weird it would be, but I don't think it would be that. I think people would still get some use out of it if somehow dudes did that, like in a non-gay way or a non-like whatever, like clothing way, or what am I trying to say, like a non-fashion way, to just show some you know, stuff that normal dudes wear or whatever, and how this, you know, the stuff disappears. We see it with holsters a little bit, but we don't. At least I don't ever see people like showing, you know, how much it prints or whatever.
I see it a lot. I mean, like when I used to watch holster reviews.
And like when you watch dudes' groins.
Oh yeah, the dudes' groin Instagram channel is awesome, dude. Like dudes' groins, I think, at dudes' groins. But you know, I would watch a holster review, and that would be one of the things they did, was like spin around, bend over, you know, show off if they're printing or
Really?
not.
I've never seen that holster review.
Yeah.
And now, spin around and bend over.
Yeah, I'm gonna bend over and.
I've been looking for like when I was looking for my like holster gun combo, I was like looking over forums and stuff, trying to find specific pictures that people had posted just to see what it looked like, you know.
You just wanted to find a dude bend over. Just go on YouTube, dude. It's out there, dude.
I typed into Google dudes that are packing bent over, and I got a whole different series of websites.
Oh shit, dude. Nah, you know what it is. I mean, just Google like I don't know, any holster you like. There's popular holsters. That's the thing too. Like I don't know, for a while I wanted a, what was it, Comtac or a Blade Tech or a Galco Summer, the rip-off of the Milt Sparks one, I forgot, it was like the Summer Comfort or something. I would look up videos of that, and there's tons of holsters, dude. A holster and a belt, I mean, is so important. So I would definitely just try to Google stuff and look on YouTube, and yeah, I would see these dudes doing all these tests, like spinning around 360, and look, check it out. Yeah, the Comtac M-Tac was definitely one of the things I wanted to get. I bought a Comtac, a paddle though, but so I think that's more important than your clothing, really. It's like the holster, and the belt is like going to help you so much, and that's just a personal. That's just such a personal thing that you're going to wind up buying. I don't know if you have or not already, but buying all these fucking holsters that aren't going to work.
I've been doing a lot of research, and I know it's inevitable, but trying to at least get a pretty good idea of what I want. I'm thinking about going towards the, I don't know, I haven't even considered appendix yet, so I got to look into that. But like, if I was going to do inside the waistband, I think I'd go with, what's it called? The Aegis Armory. It's like a hybrid holster.
Yeah. Filster. The Filster holster dudes, they got some nice stuff. I like Fist Incorporated. It's like my favorite. I wish they were a loop, but they're not. It's a clip, so I have to deal with it. But I've shown this thing off before. See if my camera works in this low light. So like you see this holster for my 26. So you see how thin this is? Like it's just super thin. So without sweeping myself. So here from the, you see how thin this is?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because like I'm trying to get a thin gun, but I don't want to get like a big, thick holster.
Well, dude, imagine if this was a thin gun. They make holsters for every gun.
Right.
Look how thin that is. So the way they do it is it's a Kydex pancake. They treat the Kydex and make like a leather holster out of it. You see that how it's stitched together just like a leather would be?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So then, so on top of being that thin, right? Look at this. This clip is so fucking incredible that you don't need a belt, really. This clip will, like, if you were wearing sweatpants or some shit, this clip is going to stay put. But it's got this double hook. I'm going to try to, I'll use my thumb so you can see. You see that hook there?
Yeah, so it like digs into the thing that it's going into.
Well, no, it goes in there.
It goes under your belt and locks it.
It locks under your belt. So then it goes into this little dip right there in the Kydex. So basically, it's trapped your belt in a hook.
Yeah,
a double hook. And I would always ask them, like, wow, these hooks are fucking awesome. Like, why don't other holster companies use these hooks?
You want to know why?
I don't know.
What if you're stuck in a helicopter and then all of a sudden the engine trouble and helicopter's going down and they're like, jump, and then you're trying to, but then that thing got caught in the seatbelt of the helicopter. You're basically screwed.
You're dead. No, I know.
What's that holster called?
There's no way that hook's coming out.
So one other quick thing was that I've had other holsters with clips, and they suck, dude. They completely suck. So this is called Fist, F-I-S-T, Incorporated. They've been making holsters forever, and they do any holster they make, they'll do a Kydex version. And your best bet is to call them.
So you recommend fisting? Oh, am I pronouncing that wrong?
First, you got to watch the videos of this.
Fisting, Fisting. I'm not pronouncing that right. Fisting.
The only way to get a gun with a holster to be this thin would be to crazy glue the metal clip to the slide and frame. Then that would be doable, I guess. Yeah, but I love these things anyway. So these things, I mean, this thing doesn't print, dude. I mean, this is the way it is. I've had them for every single gun I've owned, like Walther PPQ. I had an HK. I've had them for every gun. If I buy a gun, I buy one of these.
Okay.
That's just me. But I've had other ones. I had the Galcos. I love those too. But they seem to. I bought a Blade Tech Nano it's a Phantom Nano or something. And so it's like their newest, greatest inside the waistband blade tech with the loops, which I like soft loops. And man, it rode so high up that it felt like the gun was going to flip over all the time. Like it was so high up. I hate that. So that's another thing. You got to figure out how low do you want your gun to be. Because some of these holsters, the way they're set up, it's just really high. I hate that.
Yeah.
The Nate 2 Tactical is one of the most comfortable holsters I've tried.
I had an 8.2. I had the Pro, right? The hard plastic one. And you have
That's the one I have.
You have to like twist. You have to press the gun towards your body to pull it out or something like that.
Yeah,
and I just did not like that at all. Like that had to go.
Yeah, I don't have the professional. I've just got the regular Nate 2 Tactical.
Just for me, because I was just thinking, wow, I just could imagine the absolute. I'm paranoid, so it's just like the absolute worst case is that I'm pressed against the wall or I'm sitting and I'm trying to pull it and it won't come out. You know, I just don't need that.
It takes a lot of practice. I carry the Nate Square Tactical holster, the professional model with the M&P Shield, and I tell you what, it's very comfortable. It does take a lot of practice with the twist draw coming out. That's for sure.
Oh, but I will say they are they are super comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. I hardly know I have it on. I mean, it's very, very comfortable.
But I think like the fist that I just showed off, like to me, was just as comfortable. I mean, it's because it's so thin.
Right.
It was just I forget, even with this thick, you know, people say the Glock 26 is like a brick. There are times where I'm like, I forget it's on. I totally forgot I was carrying it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Did I get one of these for the Glock? I got the Galco, just the tuck and go. These are very comfortable too, but you know, they don't really retain the gun at all, really, you know. So, $30 holster.
I love the Galco. I have one, the Summer. I think it's the Summer Comfort or something like that. And yeah, the one, it's got the soft loops. It's kind of like that, but it has soft loops, and it's more formed to the gun, so it doesn't lock in, but it's. I think they're like $50 or something, but they're awesome.
Yeah, I had one of those when I had my M&P Compact. I had one of those, and they're pretty good too.
Yeah, they're just standard. They are like to me that's a standard where it's like I would start from there if you're into leather, because I like leather too, but I think Kydex is a little bit better in the summer, you know, with the sweat and stuff. So leather seems to soak it up. But if you're into leather, start there with Galco. That would be my advice, because they're incredibly good and incredibly affordable compared to those other custom holsters.
There's definitely all kinds of options out there. I have a shoebox, and I'm sure we all do, full of holsters, filled attempts. So.
That's what's nice about Kydex, is that you can sell it, and the person's not going to be like, "Ew, it's been soaked with your sweat all summer." Like, you can clean it off with Windex and be like, "Look, it's as good as new, dude. It's good to go."
Right.
I got this Forest City Tactical once. It was all kinds of sweaty from some stranger.
Yeah, sure. That one was, man, that was a good one too. Outside the waistband. That's one thing I never did. Those holster companies like Forest City and Bravo and all that stuff, they do make inside the waistband with the soft loops, and I've never tried that. That might be cool, but it's to me, it just seems like such a hunking piece of plastic that it's better off outside the waistband.
The soft loops make it feel like it's going to flip out when you drop trowel. I like the hard ones.
That shit, yeah. That's bad mojo.
I don't think it's tactical to poop while you're carrying a gun, so I don't poop when I'm carrying a gun.
Yeah, I'd never poop. Not in public. I'll make it home, dude. You know what I mean?
Tactical squat.
Oh, but that's why we even brought this holster thing up, is that
you wear a tactikilt.
That's what's so awesome about this one, is that you can basically chamber it around, right, and leave it in this thing, for weeks if you have. You know what I mean? Like, you just basically take it off, take it on, leave it in this thing. You never have to like take it out. There's no reason to ever take it out of this holster. Like,
Maybe for periodic maintenance and upkeep.
well, yeah, I do that to clean it. But other than that, it's not like, worrying about taking it out in and out. And it's like, because that's where you're gonna you increase your chances of doing something stupid the more you do that. Like, I just take it off, then it'll sit on my nightstand, and then in the morning it'll go in my belt, and that's repeat for days.
Do you wear a
So
shirt? Do you wear an undershirt with that?
No. I mean, I do wear an undershirt, but it's not tucked into my pants. No, that thing is just against my skin.
Is that holster against your skin?
Yeah.
How is
A little
it?
bit, tiny bit.
How does it make does it like, I don't know, is it comfortable?
Yeah, I'd say it's comfortable just because it's so damn thin. Like, if it was, look how thin it is. It's like basically like wearing the gun by itself. But yeah, it's comfortable.
Have you carried anything yet? Because you'll figure out that even though they look kind of obnoxious, you get
I haven't carried anything.
Something
No, I haven't. I mean, I've open carried a lot, but
I mean, like on your property or whatever, you can get used to it ahead of time by just wearing on your property, or just still carrying something else, like a book or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try that out.
Yeah, just remember, bend over.
Are you 21?
I turned 21 soon.
Oh, okay. I hope you're in the friendly state.
Yeah, I'm in Arizona.
Don't get much friendlier than that.
Aren't you scared? You're so close to where Biker Bob's going to be visiting soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty scared.
I think he might come stay with you.
Nope.
After a good guy kicks him out.
Oh, man.
Shit. Yeah, I ain't got to worry about it. It just winds up like, eventually you'll just be like, wow, I got so much shit. I'm carrying so much stuff now that it sucks, dude. The gun's like the least of my problems. It's like the flashlight, the knife, the keys, the wallet. Like, I see these new wallets that are super slim. Like, that's what I need to get into. My wallet's like a brick.
I'm like Nathan. I have a flashlight and a knife in my wallet.
Yeah, I downgraded to the Streamlight, the little tiny micro stream, and I had to do it because it's just too much stuff in your pocket.
Oh, and there's a pen in there. But it's like my emergency last case scenario or whatever. Needed a light, got one.
I weighed my EDC the other day on a bathroom scale. It was like 9.5 pounds. It's like, holy crap.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you carrying a 1911, dude?
That was my belt, a Glock 19, an extra mag, a multi-tool flashlight.
Oh, you count your belt? That's close.
Well, no, it's pretty heavy. I bought one of those SOE with the small Cobra buckle.
Nice.
That thing is pretty heavy.
I want that.
I love that belt.
How much was that?
I think 65.
But is it really EDC? It's close. I mean, then you're going to call your pants EDC.
Well, I didn't count the pants because I changed my pants. I always have that belt.
I see. So you go by what isn't changed out daily?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never heard that definition, but I guess that would bring belts in. That's also going to bring hats and sunglasses and watches and stuff in.
Well, I forgot to throw my cell phone on there. Well, I generally don't wear a hat unless it's raining.
Oh. All right. What about, you said cell phone. That has to be in there. What about a handkerchief or something?
No.
Bandana?
That's why you have shirt sleeves. I'm joking.
Can't give your shirt sleeve to a lady.
Tourniquet.
She can blow her own goddamn nose.
Here, let me wipe my shirt on your mouth, on your nose.
Well, that's usually in the car, that kind of stuff, the first aid kit. I got triangle bandages, which is basically a huge handkerchief.
Any of you guys carry stun guns at all on you?
I'm too poor.
Yeah.
Taser, yeah.
Taser, yeah. I've got one of these. It's a Diablo, the guard dog flashlight slash stun gun. Works pretty good, and it's got the.
Oh, one of their tool vendors was pimping one of those, and one of the guys in the shop just picked it up,
Yeah.
was playing with it. He thought it was a flashlight. He shocked himself. It was a funny thing
I
I
have
saw.
accidentally shocked myself with this thing by accident, and it hurts.
His arm was numb for like 2 hours. It was funny.
Oh, I know.
He didn't think it was funny, but so the dealer ended up pulling the batteries out of it. Nobody did that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, this one right here, it's rechargeable. You just plug it in for 5-6 hours, and it's good for like a week. So
It looks like a flashlight also, or it is a flashlight also?
it is a flashlight as well.
Does it use the same battery for the
I can
zap?
see that being
or is
handy
it-
for somebody in a parking lot.
Or has it got a
Yeah.
separate?
It's there's no battery. It's rechargeable. You just plug it right in overnight.
Okay, so it uses the same battery for the light as it does for
Exactly. Yep.
the... Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got like 2 different settings. You know, to have the flashlight to work, you put it. This is the flashlight right here. Then for the stun gun, you flip the switch forward, and there's a button right here. And
Damn, that makes a snap.
There.
it's also got the strong face here, where they say it's good enough to break glass. You know, obviously. You know, I'm sure this wouldn't feel too good against, somebody's chest or somebody's head, if need be. So I just use it for work because I have to have a flashlight for work, so I keep it on me anyways. So.
And that's cool.
Yep. I think I got this. I got it for like I think I paid like $60 for the thing. It was on. So I've had it for over a year now. So. But I definitely like to get something smaller for everyday carry. This is a bit big to carry in a pair of blue jeans, but it's okay in a pair of like Dickies pants with deeper pockets. But I really can't carry this in a pair of blue jeans, so I definitely need to look into getting something smaller.
I usually wear Carhartts or Dickies, and I've got that with like a screwdriver pocket down the side. So
Yeah.
I like putting the taser in there. That would work in there, I think. I can stuff
Yeah.
flashlight in there sometimes.
Yeah, I got the Dickies cargo pants I wear for work. I keep this in my pocket. Then I also have to some pepper spray in my pocket as well. So I got several options, and plus my gun.
Nice.
You're in Maine, though, right?
Yes, I am. Yep.
So is that for critters or people?
What's that? The flashlight or the?
The various options.
I mean, a little of both.
I mostly carry mine for an option, but mostly for critters. I don't want to have to, because I don't think shooting a critter is effective, especially when they're
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, definitely.
horrible.
They make really, really good holsters for flashlights
Oh yeah.
that slide through and it'll catch the rim. Although the bezel on that would probably chew your side up. So never mind.
Yeah. This came with a flat a case to it, but it was just a cheap nylon thing. It fell apart within a couple of weeks. Not even that.
If I had a different uniform, I'd definitely have that on cover also. I usually put it in the plier pocket on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I carry pepper spray, in my mind, I think this is for a pit bull or I don't want to be racist, but like German Shepherd or a Golden Lab or something like that, or a pit bull.
One of the aggressive breeds that are known to be.
Yeah, like a Roddy or something, or an Irish setter or something. All the mean dogs I've met in my life. Saint Bernard.
That Jack Russell from down the hall that keeps trying to help your leg.
That's funny. Jack Russells are cute. Rhodesian Terrier. So something, Rhodesian Ridgeback or something like that. Bastards. I don't know. Let's take questions from the internal here.
What's the best use for this tiny M&M container?
Band-Aids. Quick Clot.
What? Quick Clot. Quick
I don't
Clot.
know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? These little containers that mini M&Ms come in?
Sierra 1, 2, 3 batteries wrapped in cotton. Cotton's your fire starter.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've been watching that Black and Orange show off of Netflix.
Mm.
The lesbians. So they have that deal where they bring in the cigarettes and then they light them with a with a battery and gum wrapper. Has anybody proven this? Because that sounds pretty hardcore to me.
It's the same thing as steel wool, isn't it?
I don't know, but it's you know what I'm talking about, like a stick of gum wrapper. How it's like wax paper on half of it, and then the junky fat foil on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
They're like they hold that between. Have you seen the show we're talking about?
No, I haven't. I've seen the previews for it.
Well, there's these lesbians, and they basically need to smoke cigarettes because they're lesbians, and they take like a double A battery, and then hold between their thumb and their pointer finger. And now they just take like the letter D out of like the batteries, the straight part of the D, and the paper, and the just kind of arcs between both sides of the batteries. And I'm like, come on a 1.5 volt double A, where's Mike going to need them? This is not going to arc.
That would burn the shit out of your finger before it lit the cigarette.
A 1.5 volt double A, I think you can pretty much swallow one and it's not going to do anything to you. If this is a double A, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to say if it's got enough power to heat the, how wouldn't you burn your finger? Right,
exactly. If it had that kind of juice, I just don't think they have that kind of juice. Anyway, I need to practice it.
No, dude, it looked real. It looked real.
Maybe it's a lesbian technique that I don't know. Some finger technique I'm not aware of.
It wasn't like they had a big special effects in that show. I mean, it looked real every time they did it. Like they folded it.
And it's not like, what's the point of making a fake thing? Like, I guess it would help the storyline because they can't have matches in jail. That makes sense.
No, I've listened to enough rap music where I've heard of like, a battery, a Brillo pad, and tinfoil can like boil water and all this stuff. So I'm sure that this is based on some sort of reality. That idea. That was cool though. That was the coolest thing. There's been times where I've been stuck in a hotel like dying for a lighter, and there's no oven top or something, and I'm like, damn, I need to light this cigarette. And that was awesome. Take a little battery and that foil. Or a Brillo pad. I'm sure it would work with a Brillo pad. That was cool. We need a Mythbusters on that one.
That's all I'm calling for.
What was I going to say? That Asian chick in that show was kind of unexpected, dude. She was packing. Her EDC was unexpected when she took her shirt off. The new Asian girl on that show.
Wait.
I was shocked, dude. Like, dude, what was her name? On the Orange is the New Black.
I remember. Name. I know who you're talking about.
Okay. When she first took her shirt off, I think it was like, no, when the chick, from Roseanne, wasn't that the girl from Roseanne? I don't know, like the girl, they had sex, man. They're lesbians. But she took her shirt off and was like, holy shit.
The chick from Roseanne? You mean the weird-looking one with the frizzy hair?
What show is she from? She's famous from...
Sarah Gilbert?
No, she was in a movie. Is it Almost Famous? She was in some movie, I think.
She's famous. Yeah, she's famous. I thought she was from a TV show.
Kind of famous. I don't think she's that famous. She's on a TV show.
Dude,
okay, so when she was in the church with the other one, you're saying there was EDC involved?
Huge, dude. No, I'm just saying her boobs were huge.
Oh, well, of course. That's why this season's better than the last season. That's an excellent episode.
No idea, dude. That was a shocker.
Hey, when I envision prison lesbianism, that's pretty much what I expect to see.
Oh, that show is bad. This season was just like, wow, this is depressing. Besides the lesbian sex, it was like, this is so depressing. I don't get it.
I take it it's not PG.
Oh no, the first one probably is, but the second season is not.
Yeah.
Tactical 6-string is saying putting the foil in an electric outlet. That I knew about because that we would do that in school just because it was funny or whatever. But and that was also back in the day. There wasn't always wax paper on some gum. Like some gum was just a piece of tinfoil really, and other gum was more like. Well, it seemed like in that show they were using that wax paper kind, and I figured the wax paper is what burned.
That's like juicy fruit or like I'm trying
Yeah,
to
normal stick of gum kind of gum.
yeah, cheap gum.
But like the gum I usually chew is little squares that are wrapped in paper, so that wouldn't do anything. You need the conductivity of the metal. But anyway, I can understand doing an electric outlet because then you got all kinds of amps. I'm saying on a 1.5 AA battery, I just don't see it having enough juice to arc it. And
It's the opposite of what you think. It's the voltage that causes the arc, not the amperage.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's interesting. Then that's a whole other way that we could be EDCing. I'm going to take the battery out of my little light right now and try it.
Look at voltage as like a water pipe. The bigger the pipe, the more the flow. So like 120, it's gonna you got a decent amount of flow, but 220 is huge. So when you get down to a battery, it's only 1.5 volts.
Yeah, it's tiny.
But their amperage is considerably higher than what you think it might be.
You sound smart. I was going to ask, so is there some reason why the middle of the paper caught on fire? Is that because it looked like when they folded it over from negative to positive, like it looked like always the middle started to fire?
Well, what am I trying to say? Like a standard household is a 30 or 20 amp breaker, so 110 volts times 20 is 220 watts. No, 2,000 something watts. But when you like a car battery, it's 12 volts, but it's got 700 amps to crank. So when you do the math on that, I don't have a calculator in front of me. I'm trying to prove something that isn't going to work if I don't. Damn it. They're surprisingly close is all I'm getting at. The difference between an outlet and your battery.
I was going to say, leave it to the Complex magazine people to...
Should it work with the foil in a cigarette pack? Because that I have. I don't have it.
Oh, shit. That's a good idea, too, yeah.
It's the same kind of stuff, right? I mean, they couldn't do it in the show because they didn't have
I'm guessing the crease where it bends is...
this is all paper.
Causing, you know what I mean? The crinkle in at the bend is what's causing the place to get hot. Kind of like on a soldering iron, the two leads coming together. It's the tip that gets hot, not the ends.
So that's why it's the middle, because it's folded.
I guess.
These guys are smart. There's people in jail, man. They're fucking smart.
No, what happened was a smart motherfucker got locked up and showed the rest of them, and they're just like, no, watch this.
Got out on parole. Oh, yeah.
That whole, if you give somebody a fish, you feed him for a day, you teach him how to fish type of thing.
Yeah. Netflix.
Well, you gotta hand it to the inmates. They will make almost anything into a weapon.
I mean, they make wine in their toilets for freak's sake.
They showed that too, like they make hooch.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Cork, I caught you on the gun lobby this morning. I think you were already off, but you were on there for quite a while by yourself, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was checking out when I got up this morning. You were on there by yourself for a while. I think some people jumped on with you later on, didn't they?
Yeah, Dano, Thin Blue One, DB for a little while too. I think that was it. And Chris said.
Did you stay on late last night then?
Just a couple hours.
Yeah, I jumped in.
As soon as I hit end broadcast, so I was gonna go to bed. Then a whole bunch of people show up.
Yeah, when I'm on my phone, I don't know. It's cool to be on the phone because I can do stuff around the house and stuff. But when my phone dies,
the only thing that sucks
dishes,
is
you mean?
trying to hit mute.
Laundry. Yeah, I can't do that with that.
I wish the little clicker on the headset worked for the mute.
Like the other night, I went for a walk in the streets, showing off.
I was expecting you to get mugged.
Oh yeah, we're out
This week,
pimping your house.
I was showing out the homeless people on the corners. There's a homeless dude sleeping right in front of my house. It's just like the good old days. Reminds me of the 80s.
Got into a chat and you wanted to buy some more magazines, so you went out and grabbed some money from your
Yeah, dude.
workers.
I had to jump to the bodega and get a 40 ounce, Old English 800s, of course. None but the best.
Ew.
Dead air.
G-Webs, thanks for posting my excuse me. Thanks for posting my chat up on Gun Channels yesterday. My chat went pretty good. It went for over 3 hours.
Yeah, we were watching.
Oh, cool.
Oh, is that who's hosting?
Yes. Yeah, it was me and CSG Survival, a channel out of Australia. Good guy. Then
I caught about a half hour of it before I put the kids to bed.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. The one I had on Friday night was a good one too. It went for over 5 hours. Thanks for posting my chat up on Gun Channels yesterday.
Echo.
Somebody's getting a bad echo.
Yeah, it's you.
No, it's not me. I turned mine off. There's something on, man. Okay, no, it was me. I'm an idiot. I had gun channels on twice. I shut one of them off, and the other one was still there. I was like, what?
Whoopsies.
Son of a bitch, Americans and their echo. Oh wait, my bad.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I wasn't even saying, I got nothing against my cousins from the south. Just, I just treat them like my other cousins that are a little bit slower and. Oh, we don't want to go there. Now I know.
What's the temperature up there in Canada tonight there?
Oh, right now it's 22.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is, like high 70s.
That's not bad. I'm up in Maine and it's like 58 degrees right now.
Oh yeah, no, we're warmer than that. We've had rain for the last week and a half. It's just been like we're all going, what the fuck's going on? Did we move to Vancouver?
Yeah.
It's rained every freaking day.
That's what it's doing here too.
Because you bought a drum magazine.
I don't know, man. It really pisses. Tomorrow's my day off, and it's not supposed to rain. I'm going to the fucking gun range.
Nice.
Oh, now it's gonna rain because you said you're gonna go do something outside.
No. I'm gonna shoot a weatherman. No, I'm not actually gonna shoot a weatherman. That's a silly thing.
You really shouldn't say that live.
You're gonna shoot Mother Nature.
Yeah. Oh, when I go out there, yeah, I'm gonna shoot the dirt. The dirt berms behind the bunts. I'm gonna put them all full of holes.
I thought of what would be kind of cool is if you got one of them RC helicopters that you can get and tied a bunch of balloons to them and had someone fly them around. And you just try to shoot the balloons out.
Oh, that'd be
it's a
bad.
good way to run a helicopter.
Caught propellers, and it wouldn't be good.
Yeah, tie a long string to the balloon. You don't have to shoot the helicopter.
Well, I know, but if you shoot the balloon,
that's not the fun part.
What's the backstop?
And it's gonna crash.
I mean, I don't know. You get a big enough berm.
It's like dragging a rope behind a boat. It's gonna get caught in the propeller.
I'm gonna say this: as soon as somebody starts flying a helicopter around with a little balloon, I'm not aiming for the balloon. I'm aiming for the helicopter.
Well, didn't they do that? Don't they do that at the Big Sandy shoot? They have people fly radio-controlled helicopters and try to shoot them down.
Airplanes.
Oh, that's awesome.
That would be fun.
Yes, it would.
Well, apparently in World War II there was guys who shot down Zeros with Thompsons. If you listen to the the reports after Pearl Harbor.
It was 45 plus P though.
Just whatever the military shit was, man.
Yeah,
It's
ball, 230
possible.
ball.
There's always that golden BB, right? It's possible.
Especially because they were so lightly armored, but still.
Well, dude, those zeros must have been. They flew low as shit. I bet. Like so, it's like.
Oh, and
They
they were
had-
sniping.
they had
They
no
were down
armor.
to 100 feet. Yeah, so it was 100 feet away, and you got 80 rounds in a drum of 45, and they don't have armor at all.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
were
they're
very light.
really lightweight aluminum. So yeah, it's possible.
Off.
Yeah, I mean, you
Just
just
think about it,
basically doing a Kentucky windage type thing, so
Yeah.
Oh, that was perfect for the chat, the Yankee chat. The like lies they tell, right? About I remember like right after Sandy Hook, the argument that I would watch on like Bill Maher or MSNBC was like, they say that they need guns to protect themselves from the government, right? And then they would say, now look how silly they sound because the government has tanks, planes, missiles. There's no way that your gun is going to protect you from the government. So your argument is so silly. You ever seen that? Like, I saw Rachel Maddow say it.
And guerrilla warfare's kicked the crap out of modern warfare for decades.
Yeah, I'm just saying, a lever action 30-30 could probably take down an F-16 if it was flying low enough, right?
Yep. Oh no, it's the golden BB theory. A handgun can take down an airplane if it hits it in the right spot. I mean, and that happens, right? There's been F-105 Thunderjets in Vietnam War shot down by guys with a Tokarev T-33. You know, just got around into the right place, broke some of the fan blades in the engine. The engine self-destructed as they're wont to do because they're going really, really fast.
Or you
and when they
could
get
train a bunch
unbalanced,
of pigeons to take them out on takeoff.
I've often thought about that. What about somebody just getting radio-controlled airplanes and starting to do shit like that? I mean, that's fucking terrifying because some of those radio-controlled airplanes are fast. Like, I'm talking like 500 miles an hour fast. Some of the jets.
There's radio-controlled jets that go 500?
Yeah.
Yes, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars for one of those. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but $10,000 to knock a
tens of
$100
million
million
dollars.
Yeah. It's probably cheaper just to train the pigeons.
Yeah,
but
I like pigeons.
Tens of thousands compared to tens of millions dollar plane.
I'm just saying, you don't need. I was just trying to say, you don't need to take out a machine that has to move through the air and it has to take in air. Has to have the wind stream over the wings. There's just too many things that you can take out anytime there's a machine that you don't have to have one chance in a million ballistic shot to do it. You can take it down with all kinds of easy things, balloons and all kinds of stuff. But that's the whole point, is that if what DB is saying is that that's an argument. I don't hear it very often, but I also don't bring up owning the Second Amendment having to do with government tyranny, but I can see that being a rebuttal to that. But then, just say, any of the modern conflicts we've had have been with countries that don't have superior forces against our technology and our machinery. In fact, it's bigger odds in the other direction. If you look at our military going after Vietnam or Korea or anything in the desert, then that's military forces by the droves. They wouldn't do that against, our country in tyranny would only send police and, they wouldn't be able to maneuver that much against us. And even when there was that much overwhelming numbers of swarms of our technology going against them, they were still able to easily defend themselves with freaking SKSs, basically auto-loading rifles.
Yep. Yeah,
with determination and willpower.
That's also related to the fact where it's like,
56. No.
That's like when we are like, we should have anything that the military's able to get, and they're like, so where are you gonna draw the line? Then you can just have like a nuke or something, that's just how ridiculous our argument is.
Well, there is.
There's privately owned tanks. There's privately owned large artillery, and that doesn't make it any more dangerous to anyone else. I think, in fact, you need that stuff because then you don't have nothing cool in parades. Parades suck now that people can't own tanks and stuff.
Yeah. I think the tanks that the cannons on the tanks are
Nope, not at all.
No,
You
not
can
all of them.
definitely buy them
Some of them
with
are, but
working.
not all of them.
You just buy a destructive device every time you want to shoot a thing. Otherwise, you shoot chalk or big noisemakers. But the cannon itself isn't the weapon; it's the projectile.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't hear that argument, because that was an argument that they were because people would say it. The main reason for the Second Amendment is to protect against tyranny of the government, and then they love that argument that how is your assault rifle going to stop an F-18 or an F-16 or a tank, or like your argument is completely invalid. It doesn't make sense. Like, please give up your guns and stop your arguing. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it seriously, with all the advances in the point-of-view cameras they've got now, like if you go and look it up on YouTube, there's all these people who are flying airplanes to 15, 20,000 feet, radio-controlled airplanes with cameras, and they're actually flying them real-time with a direct radio link.
Well,
I mean, it is just amazing. And these are hobbyists. These guys are this is a hobby.
Are you sure it's 15,000?
Yeah, it's really high.
Maybe it was feet, but I mean, they're getting up there to where they're like it looks like you're flying in a jet.
You know the MQ-9s, the Predators, the drones that the Air Force operates.
Yeah, they don't fly very high.
They work off satellite. I mean, they'll go up to 20,000 every now and then, but they work off a satellite feed. And if they bank too hard, if they go more than, I think, a 15-degree bank, they'll lose that satellite feed in terms of video. They'll still be able to control it, but they can't see what they're doing.
Yeah. And another thing is they use motors that were designed for ultralight aircraft. They use Rotax, made in Canada, motors. And they're just like, well, these are they're kind of descendants of snowmobile motors that then started to get used in ultralights. It's like, man, I'm thinking you'd rather have like a military engine in there, something that was designed for, not something that kind of came from a snowmobile. It's whacked, and yet they fly these things for 9 and 10 hours at a time. I can't believe the reliability.
Canada powering Skynet sooner than you think.
So you're telling me you couldn't ride a snowmobile for 10 hours and not expect it to run past that?
No, I mean, but not all in one stretch. I'd have to refuel it 2 or 3 times.
But once you get to that altitude, you're just kind of drifting down,
cruising like
just maintaining it. You're not giving it power.
Yeah, I'm just amazed that they can build engines like that. Like they're talking now, they can make electric airplanes that can fly for like 30 days.
Longer than that.
Well, yeah, but
like,
they're also...
Holy crap!
Because motors aren't engines. Motors are efficient and don't have a lot of moving parts and are solid, and they can run for a long time. Look at Niagara Falls. Those aren't motors. Those are motors. I mean, they're not engines.
It also doesn't have as much to do with propulsion as it does with other factors as well. You got to factor in weight, and especially if you have these newer planes that are having a bigger and bigger wingspan, so that's going to provide them a lot more lift to a lot little... reduce the weight. I mean, you hardly need any propulsion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like you look at solar back in the 50s. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got solar cells in the wings and stuff. They've actually got solar cells now that are kind of like a thick piece of plastic.
Why would anybody want to go back to the 50s?
Hey, Chris.
But you go back. No, I'm just saying that technology of the wingspan. If you go back to the 50s, they took the F-104 Starfighter. And they lengthened the fuselage, and then they put really long glider wings on it. And instead of being a point defense fighter that was designed to, climb to high altitudes really fast and go Mach 2.2, they got this thing that would fly at like 70 or 80,000 feet. But it just hangs there. It's got 3 miles. Yeah, it's just a big wing, right?
Last Starfighter was like one of my favorite movies from the 80s. Just want to pull an edge. In honor of Ed.
Okay. That
was a classic 80s movie.
Yeah.
Holy freaking!
But the Starfighter, the F-104 Starfighter, I must say, was the most gorgeous, beautiful 1950s fighter ever.
I walked by an F-104 like within 5 feet of one every day. I got one on our campus right by our school.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful? They're just like pure. That's a weapon.
Is that the one? Is that the one, Biker Bob, that was in the movie The Right Stuff in the end, where he's going up and he like tries to fly as high as he can, and then he crashes?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think he made 100 and some thousand
Son of a
feet in that
bitch.
thing.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I remember that.
I was wondering why nobody can hear me. I was like, Bieber, what did you say? What did you say? I can't see if anybody's muting me on this. That's why it's,
No,
you know,
no.
and I'm. Somebody did.
We can hear you now.
Oh, someone
Shut
might have
up.
muted you because could hear your traffic, like the car noise.
Man, son of a bitch.
Me. Wasn't me.
It sounded like you were driving with your window down. But no, I didn't.
It wasn't me.
Oh.
It was noisy. But now it's not
I
noisy.
think you pretty much narrowed it down to DB Cooper.
It wasn't me, dude.
No, it wasn't him. It was Beaver. Because usually when I'm on these chats and I'm in the car, everybody's used to, you know, the way I talk in here. I guess, I don't know. I was wondering, and the thing is, I can't see if anybody mutes me on this, so I could be talking and wondering what the fuck's going on, you know?
Why are they ignoring me? They hate me now. What the hell did I do?
No, that or you're just interrupting me as usual, Bob.
No, Bob, I want to tell you, this
like
plane
to do that,
is
though,
the
Chris.
ugliest fucking plane I've ever seen in my life, dude. Are you serious?
Are you kidding me?
It has no
Are you
fucking
kidding me?
wings, dude. It looks like it's.
I know. It's a fucking rocket, man. It's
By
a
the way,
rocket.
By the way, Bob, my dad was in the Air Force back in the 60s, and he said that this shooting star killed more Germans than the Luftwaffe when they had that plane. So.
Oh, the shooting star, yeah, but that's not the starfighter. I'm talking the F-104 starfighter. That killed a lot of people.
Not shooting star. Not shooting star. Sorry, never mind. Not the shooting star. The starfighter, the one with the stubby wings. Yes, that killed more.
You know why? Yeah.
That killed more Germans than the Luftwaffe.
Yeah, you know why it did that, and it did it to Canadians too. We lost a whole bunch of pilots. When we bought it, we decided, we're gonna modify it. We're gonna use it for low-level attack. So we flew it at 50 or 60 feet. It's got one motor. It's got one
jet engine. They're not motors.
Yeah, engine, not motors. Sorry. Okay, it's got one jet engine, and they're flying low level where there's lots of birds and shit. And the ejector seat on the early models ejected downwards.
Yeah.
So imagine you're flying at low altitude. Oh man, I ate a bird. I got to eject. My seat's gonna shoot me into the ground.
Well, that gets you to the ground faster. It makes sense.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah. Unfortunately, turns you into paste.
I found a good picture of one. This actually kind of looks cool.
The planes from...
It is an amazing aircraft.
I mean, I just love the planes from World War II. That's what made me want to join the Air Force, actually.
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys later.
Me too. I tried to join the Air Force, and because Canada was flying the F-105 Starfighter, and I just thought it went Mach 2.2. You know,
is this what
it was
we're talking about, Bob?
fastest. Yeah, that's the fastest fucking little. That's a cool airplane.
Didn't talk about airplanes again.
I don't know, but dude, I'm just wondering.
sorry,
the only way this plane looks cool is if it has those fucking rockets on the end of those stubby ass lane looking wings.
That's an impressive looking
fuel
plane.
tanks. Yeah, those are fuel tanks.
Yeah,
they can put missiles. Yeah, they can carry two sidewinders there, and I think they carry two more on the fuselage, and then they've got a 20mm Vulcan cannon in them.
Nice.
They got
I'm
like
not
the
into
Gatling
Star Trek.
cannon.
I'm not into that Star Trek shit.
I'm gonna have to disagree with
Does
you
that
on
not
that.
look like a fighter? I mean, that is just the most badass looking
Chris,
little
mute
airplane
yourself.
ever.
What?
Chris, roll your windows up, dude. What are you like?
I have
you're
no
noisy as
windows
shit.
up.
You're like you're in
Holy
a
shit!
convertible
This is the
tonight.
first time I'm using my headset. This doesn't usually fucking happen. What the fuck?
Dude, you're in
Your
your
air conditioning, maybe?
tonight. It sounds like you're in
It's
your
on low now. Hold on.
We're just gonna have to keep.
it must be 1,000 degrees.
Right, turn down the heat on.
Yeah, dude.
How about now? I put the air conditioning vents upward. How about now?
Oh, that's a little better.
A little
That's
bit.
a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, but
How
Bob,
long was
not to
that?
disagree with you.
That's a
I
lot
think
better.
I always like the looks of the Super Saber more than.
You like the Super Saber?
Yes.
I like the
Don't tell me
original.
there was a jet called the Super Saver.
The F-86.
Yeah, the original Sabre was another classic, but that was the last real pilot's airplane.
I
Had
thought you
no-
said Super Saver.
It actually,
like coupon.
when you moved the controls, it moved cables, it moved your control surfaces. That was the last airplane that you could do that on. It was a fighter aircraft. Everything else then went hydraulic or electronic or.
Somebody else yell at Chris.
But yeah, the last one, the real last
Hydraulic
airplane.
still considered moving it. I mean, very little.
No,
Super loud again, Chris.
no, they're doing with the F-35.
Yeah, it's the first one that
With
doesn't
the
have
F-35, in order to save weight.
Yo, I like the F-10 Super Saver. The
F-100.
Yeah.
the F-100 Super Saver.
Well, those Super Sabre, yeah, the F-100.
It was
They
a
use it in
bargain
Vietnam.
aircraft bought with food stamps during the 60s.
The coupon plane. The coupon jet.
They had
It's
a
all
lot of
about
problems with
S&H
the early ones.
savings
That was
stamps.
the first supersonic American jet aircraft that entered service. The Sabre would go supersonic in a dive, but the Super Sabre was the first one did it in a level flight.
The point
After
being,
burning J-79, I think.
I'm pretty sure a Weaver 1022 could take us out, Scott.
And they all love
But yeah, I go on and on about all the wasted time I spent reading, ancient aviation magazines.
We don't have to, though.
No, good
We
guys.
talk about guns.
We talk about good guys
Yeah.
air conditioning. That shit sounds awesome. That's like 10
Yeah, I know.
1,000
Good guy.
times
He
more.
must you know what? I bet he's one of those guys that just put the air conditioner from the house in the back window of his car, and then just strapped a generator on behind
It's
it
like
and ran the
99
generator to
degrees
run
here
the-
at 10 p.m.
What's what's funny is that I talk to a lot. I talk to you guys on my car almost every day, and this is the first time you guys are hearing shit. So
We're not making it up. We're hearing it.
I have a headset on. Usually, if I have a headset on,
I mean, it sounds like we're in a wind tunnel a lot of time, right?
that's just
Maybe.
weird.
I think we're all imagining it.
From
Actually.
your
It's
car,
just
it
us.
sounds completely normal. So the vent must have been right on the mic or something.
Yeah,
Sounds better.
That's
now.
probably what it was, Chris.
It is
You're fine now.
105 degrees in
Anyway,
Arizona.
It's they say it's like 99 still at 10 o'clock. It'll only get to 80 something in the middle of the night, and then it'll go back up to 104 again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that's.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. But it's a dry heat.
See,
It's a dry heat.
it's
gets
right.
that-
Yeah, it's the same we say up here when it's minus 40. We tell everybody it's okay though because it's a dry
It's
cold.
dry cold.
It gets in the 80s here, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's so freaking hot!" It's like, "Oh, shut up!" It was several months ago. It was in the 20s and teens and below zero. So
Oh yeah,
I'll take the heat over the
I know,
snow.
we
We
forget
get more
till
snow.
soon, eh?
I'm not complaining about the temperature that we're having. I'm just complaining about all this fucking rain.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah,
yet-
it's been really wet this year. The farmers are all like dancing around and humping their wives' legs, going, "Yoo-hoo, we're going to Hawaii for vacation!" Because the crops are going crazy, right?
The crops can die.
Yeah, it's gonna be another.
That's bad.
Well, they can, but I mean, it depends on where you
Well,
live. I mean, where I live, it's just like, oh my God, we got water. We're gonna grow tons of wheat instead of
Mostly
just like
rice paddies.
lots
Or
of
about
moss.
Yeah, we're supposed to say strawberries.
Our land is so porous, right? We have
Yes.
this land that's really porous. It was originally, honest to God, this is like a couple of years ago. This place was called what the hell was it? The
Peat bugs.
crap. Now it was right there on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it's a desert. It's supposed to be like a. Normally, this area is a desert, but because of weather changes, we've gotten more water in the last couple of hundred years, and now you can grow, grain. So we grow shit piles of grain, plus the potash and the uranium and all that other stuff.
Pot hash?
Oil.
I didn't know you guys had that stuff.
I don't like how Bob's always trying to give us like,
Potash is the best
what's
fertilizer
the
in the
biggest
world.
commodity in Canada, or like, what's our biggest like rainfall this year. I'm sick of all these facts you're trying to seed into our conversation.
I'm
Oh,
saying
propaganda,
that
dude.
it's
sorry,
Yeah,
The
same
way
place.
that we try to we're
Yeah.
like, how can we talk to anti-gunners? Those Canadians are like, how can we talk to Americans? I know. Let's go to a gun chat and just give them all kinds of random aviation, weather, and social economic facts
for
about Canada.
Canadian.
this is for
sorry,
DB Cooper.
Yeah, you're right, bud.
Yeah, I want to tell this to DB Cooper
I'll
because we
shut
know
up
he
now for a minute.
loves strawberry daiquiris. He just
Oh,
loves
I
them to
love
death.
them, dude. Strawberry.
The
You're more
prices
than
of
welcome to
strawberry
bring up
daiquiris are
those
going
off-limit comments when it's like a dead chat, but when there's like 10 people and we're desperately talking about AKs in the side chat, let's talk about guns.
Let's talk about
No, it's my chat. I can run it however I want. I mean, say strawberry prices are going up this
Sorry
year
about that,
in my area.
Sometimes
Nobody
those
can
are
keep
way.
drinking
All right,
strawberries.
I got it.
What are the pork belly futures doing, eh?
I don't know.
No,
Hey,
it's
so Sean, what type of AK? What are you trying to get out of your AK?
Reliability, maybe. Hopefully, he's trying to find reliability.
Yeah, just I want something that I could just I can really beat on. Like whenever I take my AR-15 out, I love it, but after like 2 magazines, that barrel is just heating up big time. The hand guards are almost too hot to. It's almost too hot to hold on to the rifle. So I'm just wanting something else, a little bit more of a that can take a beating. I mean, I'm watching all these guys with AKs on some of these chats, and
AKs do get hot, though. I mean, everything gets hot. AKs definitely get hot.
Yeah, watch Iraq Veteran 8888's mag dump, or not mag dump, I guess it's like 1,000 rounds. It like starts smoking at some point.
yeah.
What kind of AR do you got?
I have a DPMS.
Didn't James Yeager do that too?
Well, what kind of
think so,
handguards you got
maybe.
on there?
I got the Magpul handguards on.
Oh, okay. So they got the aluminum shielding and.
Yeah, I mean it works. I mean, but I'll probably just get maybe like a foregrip on there, or the Magpul foregrip extension on there. That might help out a little bit.
Well, if you only have one AR, right, and that's and you want something else, man. I mean, I would. That's what I did. Instead of getting a second AR, I got an AK.
Yeah, because I was thinking about another AR for a while, and I said maybe, get into an AK-47, something. My price range is like 500 and under, or maybe 600 and under, just depending on what. I just want like just a basic AK, just a Milsurp, AK, just nothing fancy, just.
How close are you to Vermont?
Vermont, it's about 3 hours.
Because it sounds like you could just maybe drive over to Century and pick one of their best ones.
Yeah, true. I could do that.
Hey, good guy, we can't hear you at all now, so everything's working now.
I muted myself.
Oh, I know you've been jumping back and forth. I just figured I'd give you some feedback.
What was I going to say?
Hey, Huck, you want to roll the windows up?
Oh, the ammo alone.
Here or what?
The ammo price alone is like worth the cost. It's worth buying an AK just for the ammo.
So what about the VZ58? So I've been looking at reviews on those.
Come on, dude.
my God.
No.
Come on, really?
No?
Just to piss
Oh,
off.
I'm not gonna climb up to that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't get Bob started. Don't get Bob started.
Absolutely not.
They are not an AK, so
No,
they
I
share
realize.
caliber. Well, okay,
They're,
but
they're
preface
much
that they're not an
superior to the
AK,
AK.
so
They're later designed. They work better.
The mags look.
so they're proprietary magazines and proprietary parts that share nothing in common with the AK. Can be
Can be
frustrating
loaded
for
with
someone who's
stripper
buying it
clips.
as a AK
Hang on, so
alternative.
what's the what was the historic role of the VZ58? Like, what was it for?
Czechoslovakia was taken over by the Warsaw Pact. They weren't just they weren't like they didn't run over with open arms and embrace the Soviet Union. So basically, they were individuals. They were gypsies. They got kicked their shit out of all throughout history. So when the Warsaw Pact came along and said, "You're now going to use the AK-47," they said, "Fuck you. We're going to do what we feel like." And they said, "No, you're going to use the AK-47." And you would say, "Fuck you. We're going to do what we want." And they made their own gun. And the only thing that they did give in on is use the cartridge of 760 by 39. But basically, it's the result of a country that, even though they were oppressed, were basically rebelling the whole time. And for all the reasons Bob says, it's different. And again, it's a fine gun, but it's a specimen gun. You wouldn't buy it if you're trying to be practical and buy something that's easy to find magazines, or easy to find spare parts, or easy to find alternative accessories, or just having gunsmithing done. You know, that kind of stuff is all more difficult with a gun that's less common.
Unless you live in Canada, because we can't have AKs because we got stupid gun laws.
It's for the children.
You'd have to be willing to buy a gun that's obviously less dangerous enough that Canadians can own it.
Well,
Yeah, that's
they
the
did
kicker.
that online.
At least your gun laws aren't as bad as like Great Britain and Australia. And
Yeah, I know, but if we don't keep our conservative government in, they're going to get that bad.
yeah,
Yeah, the other two parties just want ridiculous restrictions on our firearms. It's just scary, fucking.
You know, people always talk about how other countries, they're like, oh, in this country, their gun laws are great because you can get suppressors without going through NFA and stuff. But I'm like, yeah, but you got to have, like, everything registered. You got to have it, like, locked up in a safe and the bolts out and everything. Like, what other country is there where you can actually, like, go down? I could go, like, in the morning tomorrow morning, spend 20 minutes, and I can come home with a brand new AK, you know? Like,
Lots of them.
Mexico?
Oh,
No, lots of countries. There's probably 8 or 9 countries that you can do that.
Isn't Czechoslovakia now that has
Czech
carry
Republic,
laws, open carry laws?
Czech
or not
Republic,
open carry?
Slovakia, and
Yeah, Czech
Slovenia.
Republic.
all
Yeah, you
those
can
places, all those places you have to. They're
carry handguns. That's cool.
You
I
have
don't know why
to.
Bob's answering your question with that statement, but you can go to the Middle East, and many of those countries, they don't require stupid laws because they know that stupid laws are stupid and they're not going to solve anything.
I see that.
So there are typically countries that we're not allowed to count because they're third world, or for whatever reason we discount them as not applicable to us. But that's all racist bullshit. Those are countries, they're states, and they have no restrictions on it. And well, I don't know if to keep going, but there are definitely countries where you can do it, and they're not all third world. They're just mostly third world.
A lot of the times that is because Bob, hold on. Jeez, man.
Well, you started talking, so of course he's going to start talking.
Of course. Anyway, no. Here's the thing too. They don't look at these countries with and without restrictions. You know, like they're gonna look at these countries that have heavy restrictions too. Like, say, for example, Mexico, Brazil, and stuff like that. And the anti-gunners are gonna look at that as a bad example of how gun laws don't work. They're gonna say, well, they can't big brother their people. They can't monitor or hyper enforce the laws there. So it's wild. So that gun laws doesn't work there. But here we can also you're willing to lose more privacy, more freedoms, you're willing to lose the Fourth Amendment too for more gun laws. Is that it? So because that's what you're saying. Because you're saying that these repressive countries that have harsh gun laws are they don't work there because the government isn't doing anything about it. So so here you want to put like CC cameras everywhere. You want police checks once a week or something. Welfare checks by the police once a week and search your house. Is that what you want? Pretty much what they're leading up to.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of time people will reference these specific countries in, like, Europe and stuff where there are looser gun laws where people can get guns and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, all those countries, they have a registration, and you have to have, like, a permitting process, you know?
So there's a guy on YouTube, Steve Lex Guns, who lives in Australia and basically has the insane restrictions. And I think he goes to what country is it? He has to go to other countries to shoot guns basically. But luckily it's a country that you can shoot full auto AKs and 20mm cannons and all this stuff. But yeah, it's always kind of depressing to watch his videos.
That's a long way to go. That's a long way to travel to go shoot, and he has to go to other countries just to shoot some of those weapons.
Yeah. I think he goes like once or twice a year.
Oh, okay.
So I just threw a link in there to the Worldwide Gun Owner's Guide, which is a pretty good book, and that's where I get that number, because I know that they don't rank the U.S. as the top. So every as it says on the cover, all the nations, every nation has some sort of gun rights, and lots of them are better than ours, or freer than ours, depending on how angle you want to look at it. I'm trying to see if they show you any. They don't really show you too much. They have a bunch of conclusions from Chapter 65, but if you are at all interested, this is the same people that do. This is Alan Corwin and his publisher. They're the same people that do the states gun owners guides, and then the traveler's guide to the 50 states. So these are very they're concise, they're easy to read. They bring all the law. They do have all the laws published in the book, but then more importantly, they state all the laws in plain English, like in normal talk. So they say everything in a way you can understand it, and then they reference all the actual laws. But this particular one is about the different laws in the different countries, and it was all with the intention of showing that the United States is not the most gun-free or the least restriction on guns, and there's lots of countries that have freer gun laws, and some of them are things like Switzerland and Sweden and stuff where they're just different. So anyway, it's worth checking out if you haven't heard about it before. Check it out at a gun store or a gun show. You don't have to necessarily buy it. You can thumb through it or whatever.
That's very interesting. I always knew Switzerland had pretty loose gun laws, but I didn't know about Sweden. So I'll have to check that out, G-Webs.
I think most of those Nordic countries are pretty down to earth. They're just
with those countries,
people ignore them because they're they don't do a lot of stuff.
Small, but they're they got bears.
Yeah, those countries have mandatory military service. So what I think Switzerland was basically like, once you get out of the service, you keep your rifle, you keep your grenades,
awesome.
you keep
I think it's converted to semi-auto, but
no, it used to be all full auto. It used to be the exact rifle, but they're moving away from that. It used to be that every guy was supposed to have a rifle in his house so that if they ever were attacked, they can fight their way to an armory and regroup and stuff. But now they're moving to having the weapons in the armory instead of in the home, because there's actually a pretty strong movement right now, an anti-gun movement in Switzerland. The last poll they did was like 67% of the population supports more gun control, and they've got like the lowest, like a super low crime rate, like violent crime rate, and it just goes to show that people will, any time that there's guns available, there's going to be people that want them gone.
So I was also under the impression that...
it's here. It's here all the time. It's depressing.
What are you saying, Steve?
So I was saying that I was under the impression that in Switzerland, even though they kept their rifles after their service, they weren't allowed to actually have ammo for their rifles. I was under the impression that basically under an attack, you would get the ammo from the government to use.
Right. Well, I mean, I think
we've been qwarked.
A very limited supply, like it was like 100 rounds or something, and that they were supposed to make their way to an armory so that they can actually get like a real supply.
I see.
I'm not sure about that. It's changed over the past. Like that's a pretty old thing.
Yeah. I don't know what it is currently. Like I'm just saying that's what I've heard in the past. So.
I really like the idea that we still recognize private sales as like a legitimate thing, and you don't have to go through a dealer where there's like a registered transfer anytime you want to transfer your own property.
For a limited time only while it lasts.
Yeah.
We're live.
I heard there's no more gun rights on the water. No, we're not live. Qwark left. We've been qwarked.
No, we're live. We're going to be live for like a few minutes, though. Chia.
I was just checking that out there. Yep, that's not a bad price. $569 for that Yugo Zastava.
$529.
$529.
Pretty sweet. Plus, Atlantic says that they do all this other cool shit, which is inspect the gun, they look for the canted sights, they check the magazine fit and all that shit. He goes through his stuff. So.
That's pretty nice.
I bought my AK from him. And also, what the thing was that they have a deal with AR15.com. So if you're a member there, I think I forgot if it was 5% or it was just a clean 20 off the top. Go join AR15.com, get a username, and you email him and give him your username, and then boom, you probably get that gun for $509. This is really
nice.
sweet. That would be sweet.
Yeah, I'm pretty good friends with the guy at my local gun shop, so I'm sure he would have no problem,
Price matching?
Well, having the AK-47 shipped to the gun shop, him being the FFL.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Does he not carry like AKs or something?
Very, 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 very rarely. He has ARs, but he very rarely. He gets AKs in every now and then, but not on a regular basis. And when he does, he price gouges the hell out of them.
You can't beat that for like $500 for.
No, that's not bad at all.
Because the only other thing in that price range is the Wasser. So it's either that or a Wasser.
How is that Polish AK you're looking at? Like, what's the word on it?
I have no idea. You webs might know. I have no idea. This is okay. So some of the information. This is a parts kit that they convert at Atlantic. So
I'm not interested. As soon as they said that.
There you go.
What part made you not interested? The part that Atlantic does it, or that it's a parts kit?
Right, the fact that they're building it. You can get, well, you used to be able to get Polish kits made by Poland, if I remember right.
This is cool too. I don't know if you were looking for an underfolder, but those underfolder paps were you probably get it from Shiba.
Keeson just got. He just got that.
Yeah, Keeson wants to tat that on his face now. He said, right on his cheek.
Those AK pistols are pretty cool too.
Yep.
Yeah, they're kind of drying up a little bit, and yeah, I'm seeing it on J&G is out, and I think this place is out.
Interesting.
They might have the one with the brace. Okay, so if they still have this is a sweet deal.
That's badass. I like that.
Yeah, $5.99. Get over to air15.com and see if you can knock 20 off of that. J&G had these too.
Nice. I just like the look of the AK. I just get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the fact
it's got character.
And they're tough as shit.
It's not the prettiest rifle in the world, but it's got character. That's for sure. It's nothing somebody kicking your door down at 3 o'clock in the morning is going to want to see. They see an AK-47 pointed at them. I'd imagine they'd turn tail and run.
Yeah.
Something
to be said about it. I'm surprised by it.
Yeah, it's just got that intimidating look to it. Oh yeah, you can't beat that round.
Everyone leaving, dude. Because we're off air? They don't want to get their money?
Nobody wants to